今天看到微信有人分享了 YouTube 的一个视频，我深受这个 Elon Musk 的善举感动，那我们就把它翻译一下，就是让他就是用对话的形式来谈一下这个内容。而这段男女的英文对话呢，是用这个 NotebookLM 谷歌的这个 AI 工具来生成的，就是它可以用中文来简述这个英文录像的一些重要的内容，主要内容。它就说这篇文章其实就说这个录像，它讲述的是那个伊隆马斯克在一位警官执行任务的时候殉职，怎么样帮助他的幼年的儿子雅各布 Jacob 度过难关的故事。马斯克不仅是提供了经济的援助，更亲自的陪雅各布上了他人生中第一课，人生中的第一天上学因为他父亲其实在就是开学的那前几天才去世的，所以呢，就是那这个善举呢，就是在社区里引起很大的反响，激起了人们帮助警官家属的热情，并引发了全社会对第一位响应者家属的支持浪潮。马斯克的善举展现出科技巨头可以利用他的资源和影响力为社会做出贡献，这也让大家反思科技与人情之间的关系。那下面呢，我们就这个录像的内容，有一段10几分钟的英文对话，主要是谈论这事儿。那英文对话是为了大家学习英文，而且了解这个事件的前后经过。那里面的用词，因为我们会配上英文字幕，你们就可以学到很好的英文。
Okay, get ready, because today we're diving into a story that really flips the script on how we see Elon Musk. I mean, we hear about his companies and rockets and, all his ideas.
Yeah.
But this time, it's different. This time, it's a story about an act of kindness that he did that's pretty extraordinary.
Yeah.
And it's towards a young boy who lost his father in the line of duty.
Right, a police officer.
Yeah, police officer. And the story's based on a YouTube video that we found. It's called What Elon Musk Did After This Boy's Dad Dies During Duty Will Make You Cry. Strong title.
Very strong title.
Very strong.
Yep.
And it's from the channel Wealth Up. So we're going to take a deep dive into this video, and we're going to try to figure out what happened, why it matters, and what we can all learn from it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the great things about these deep dives. We kind of get to see these figures like Elon Musk, and I think a lot of times we forget they're complex human beings, just like anyone else. And this deep dive, I think, kind of gives us a look at a different side of Elon Musk.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's easy to kind of just reduce people to their public persona.
Yeah.
And not realize that there's a lot more to them.
Absolutely.
So let's start by kind of painting a picture of Officer John Evans. He was Jacob's father.
Right.
And he wasn't just like a typical police officer.
Yeah, it sounds like he went above and beyond Call of Duty in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he really did. He wasn't just upholding the law. He was really woven into the fabric of the community. He spearheaded a youth mentoring program. He was always at the local events. And his whole approach to policing was about prevention and community well-being.
Yeah, it seems like he was a real pillar of that community.
Exactly. People felt safe around him.
Yeah.
Not because he was intimidating.
Right.
But because he really genuinely cared.
Yeah, I think that's what stands out. When we look at the comments and the different anecdotes that are shared about Officer Evans, people consistently talk about how he made them feel seen and heard, and that he truly cared about their well-being.
Right, and I think that really contrasts with maybe the typical image of law enforcement that we often see,
Right, absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that makes this story so compelling is that it challenges those preconceived notions.
Right, and so when Officer Evans died, it left a huge void, not just for his family, but for the entire community.
Yeah, for everyone who knew him.
Yeah, and then you have 5-year-old Jacob. Imagine being 5 years old and facing your first day of kindergarten without your dad there.
Yeah, It's unimaginable. And then into this situation steps Elon Musk.
Right. I mean, talk about unexpected.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily think of Elon Musk as the person to step into a situation like this. But he reaches out to the Evans family and offers to personally escort Jacob to school on that first day.
Yeah. It's not your typical donation or a tweet, right?
No, it's very personal.
It's a very personal gesture. And it makes you wonder what really motivated him to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say for sure, but I think it speaks to something deeper than just wanting to do something nice. Maybe he felt a sense of responsibility, or perhaps he saw a reflection of himself in Jacob, a young boy facing a daunting challenge. Or maybe it was simply a human connection that transcended his usual focus on technology and innovation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty stark contrast
Oh, absolutely.
to his public image. I mean, it's not the kind of thing we'd expect from somebody whose ambitions are usually, like revolutionizing technology or going to Mars,
Right, and I think that's what makes it so fascinating, right? It's this unexpected intersection of these two worlds.
Right, and think about it from Musk's perspective. Like, how do you even begin to connect with a child who's experiencing such a profound loss?
Right, it's a really delicate situation.
It must have been really daunting, even for someone like Elon Musk.
Absolutely, and I think it speaks to a level of emotional intelligence that we don't often associate with him. He's known for his intellect and his drive, but to navigate a situation like this, you need more than just brains. You need empathy, you need sensitivity.
Yeah. So the morning of Jacob's first day arrives, and there's Musk at the Evans home, his Tesla waiting outside. Yeah.
And you have to remember, this isn't happening in a vacuum. The whole community is watching, holding its breath, wondering how this is all going to unfold.
Right, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And as they pull up to the school, they're met with a sight that I don't even think words can really describe.
It's incredible, really. Hundreds of people, students, parents, teachers, community members, they're all lining the path from the car to the school entrance. It's like a silent corridor of support, this sea of faces, reflecting both grief for Officer Evans and solidarity with Jacob.
It's hard to imagine what that must have felt like for Jacob.
Yeah, just this overwhelming wave of emotion.
And for Musk, too. I mean, he's used to being in the spotlight, but this is something entirely different.
Absolutely. This isn't a product launch or a keynote speech. This is real life, raw and unscripted. And in that moment, all eyes are on him and this little boy walking hand in hand toward the school.
I mean, you can almost feel it, right? Like this collective breath being held, as they're walking towards the school. It's a really powerful image.
And, they finally reach the school entrance, and Musk takes the microphone.
Right.
And, he could have talked about anything, right? He could have talked about Tesla. He could have talked about SpaceX.
Right.
His vision for the future. But instead, he focuses on Officer Evans.
Yeah.
He talks about his bravery, his dedication to the community, the impact he had on everyone around him.
And he doesn't stop there, right?
No, he doesn't.
He announces the creation of a scholarship fund in Evans's name, specifically for children of fallen first responders.
Right.
I mean, that's a really powerful gesture.
It is.
It's not just a one-time thing.
Right. It creates a lasting legacy.
Right.
It's going to impact countless lives.
Yeah. It's a way to ensure that Officer Evans' memory lives on and that his sacrifice continues to make a difference.
And, it's also a strategic move.
Oh, yeah.
By aligning himself with this cause,
Mm-hmm.
Musk subtly shifts the public conversation around himself.
Mm.
Suddenly, he's not just a tech mogul.
Right.
He's a champion for everyday heroes.
Right.
He's a philanthropist invested in the well-being of first responders and their families.
And it's interesting how the community responds to this.
Yeah.
At first it was this outpouring of support for Jacob and his family, but then it turns into a wave of action. Donations start pouring in, businesses dedicate proceeds to the Evans family, first responder initiatives start popping up.
It's really remarkable how this one act of kindness kind of sparked this chain reaction of generosity and support.
Yeah, and it's not just big gestures either.
Right.
It's the little things, too.
Exactly.
Like the local diner where Officer Evans always went starts donating a portion of their profits to a fund for first responder families.
Yeah, and there's this group of high school students. They organize car washes and bake sales to raise money.
Yeah.
Local artists create a mural honoring Evans. And the group of volunteers, they transform this neglected park into a beautiful tribute to his service.
It's like the community itself is going through a healing process.
Yeah.
like channeling their grief into something positive.
I think that's a really beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like they're taking all this pain and turning it into something that honors Evan's legacy of caring for others.
Right, and it really highlights the power of collective action. The way a shared experience like this can bring people together and inspire them to make a difference.
And what's amazing is that it doesn't stop there.
Right.
This ripple effect, it extends beyond this one town.
Mm-hmm.
The story captures national attention, and suddenly you see these similar acts of kindness popping up all over the country.
Like in Seattle.
Yeah.
A group of tech executives starts a mentorship program for children of fallen first responders.
Yeah.
And in Miami, a developer donates land for a memorial park.
Wow.
Honoring local heroes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's like Musk's gesture ignited this whole movement.
It did.
A renewed focus on recognizing and supporting these everyday heroes.
Right, and it's not just about these isolated acts of charity either.
Mm-hmm.
You start to see a real shift in the way people think about first responders and their role in society.
Yeah.
There's this growing awareness of the sacrifices they make, the challenges they face,
Mm-hmm.
and the need for ongoing support, not just when tragedy strikes.
The shift in consciousness, right?
Exactly.
Like people are realizing that supporting first responders isn't just about thanking them for their service.
Right.
It's about creating a culture where they feel valued and protected.
Absolutely. And that shift is reflected in tangible changes,
Mm-hmm.
like applications for community liaison positions within police departments increase.
Interesting.
Neighborhood watch programs evolve into these community wellness initiatives.
Mm-hmm.
And schools start incorporating first responder appreciation into their curriculum.
Wow. So it really is a pretty profound shift.
It's a testament to the power of a single act to spark a larger conversation, to change perspectives, and inspire action on a broader scale.
But let's not forget about Elon Musk in all of this.
Right.
I mean, does this gesture change how the public perceives him?
That's a fascinating question because Musk is often seen as a polarizing figure,
Oh, yeah.
brilliant, innovative,
Mm-hmm.
but also prone to controversy.
Right.
And yet, this act of kindness,
Mm-hmm.
combined with some of his less publicized philanthropic work,
Mm-hmm.
it starts to paint a more nuanced picture.
Yeah, people who were quick to criticize him suddenly start to acknowledge a different side of him.
Yeah, you see this capacity for empathy, a genuine desire to make a difference.
Right. It challenges that narrative that we've built around him.
Exactly.
Maybe he's not just this tech-obsessed billionaire.
Maybe there's a layer of humanity there that we haven't fully acknowledged.
Right. And this opens up a broader discussion about the role of tech leaders in society. Are they simply innovators and disruptors?
Right.
Or do they have a responsibility to use their influence and resources to address social issues to contribute to the well-being of their communities?
It's a complex question, and Musk's actions in this case provide a really compelling case study.
Yeah, he didn't just write a check
Right.
or issue a statement.
He stepped into a deeply personal situation, offered comfort and support
Yeah.
in a way that went beyond his typical approach.
And I think it's important to remember that Musk made a promise to Jacob
Yeah.
to be there for him, not just on that first day of school, but for the long haul.
And that's where we move from the immediate impact to the long-term effects. From the spectacle of that first day to the quiet, consistent support that truly shapes a life.
And that's where this story becomes even more powerful in the commitment, the follow-through, the genuine connection that unfolds over time. So we've seen this amazing community response and the ripple effects from that one act of kindness. But let's kind of shift our focus back to Jacob himself. What did Musk's continued involvement look like?
Well, the fascinating thing is that Musk doesn't just disappear after that first day of school. He
Right.
stays connected. He visits Jacob and his mother. He attends school events, even takes Jacob on trips to SpaceX facilities.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be quite an experience for Jacob, going from a small town to, like the high-tech world of Elon Musk.
Oh, absolutely. It's like stepping into a different universe. And it's not just about showing Jacob cool gadgets and rockets.
Right.
It's about exposing him to new possibilities, expanding his horizons, giving him a glimpse of a world beyond his immediate circumstances.
Yeah.
You know?
It sounds like Musk is taking on a real mentorship role.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's not just a distant benefactor. He's actively involved in Jacob's life. He sends him challenging math problems, shares fascinating space facts, encourages his curiosity and love for learning.
It's like a subtle but powerful way of honoring Officer Evans's legacy
Yeah,
by nurturing those same qualities in his son.
absolutely. And it's a beautiful reminder that mentorship can have such a profound impact on a young person's life, especially when they've experienced a loss like Jacob had.
And let's not forget about the community, right?
No.
They haven't forgotten Jacob.
No, not at all.
Mhm.
The community continues to play a vital role in his life.
Mhm.
We see local police officers visiting Jacob's class, sharing stories about his father, making sure he feels that connection to his dad's legacy.
And there was that Guardian Angel program
Oh, okay.
that we talked about.
Yes, where Jacob is paired with a young officer who actually worked alongside his father.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It gives him this tangible link to his father's world,
Right.
a way to keep those memories alive in a positive way.
Yeah, and it underscores a crucial point. Healing from trauma isn't just about individual resilience.
Right.
It's about the collective embrace of a community.
Mm.
It's about coming together to support one another through difficult times.
It really is. And so you have Jacob with this amazing support system, Musk, the community, his family, his mentor.
Yeah.
But how is he coping with this loss at such a young age?
Well, grief is a complex process, especially for a child. And there's no right or wrong way to grieve.
Mm.
It's something that he'll carry with him throughout his life. And there will be moments when the weight of that loss hits him hard.
Mm-hmm.
When he might withdraw or struggle to express his feelings.
Yeah, I mean, he's navigating a landscape of emotions that most adults would find challenging.
Absolutely.
Cool.
But what's encouraging is that Jacob seems to be finding healthy ways to process his grief.
Mm-hmm.
His teachers report that he's engaged in school, he's passionate about learning, and he's developing a strong sense of self.
It sounds like he's surrounded by people who are helping him to find his way.
Yeah, they're providing him with the love and support he needs to navigate this difficult journey.
And I'm curious what Jacob's own perspective is on all of this.
Yeah.
How does he reflect on that first day of school and the years that have followed?
Well, in a recent interview, Jacob said something incredibly poignant. He said, "I miss my dad every day, but I also feel like I have a whole town of dads now."
Wow.
It's beautiful.
It really speaks to the power of community.
It does.
The way people can come together to fill a void.
Yeah, to provide that sense of belonging and support that everyone needs, especially a child who's lost a parent.
Right. And Jacob also mentioned that Musk taught him that it's okay to be sad, but it's also okay to be excited about the future.
That's a really important lesson.
It is. It's about finding that balance, acknowledging the grief, but also embracing the possibilities that lie ahead. I wonder if this experience has shaped Jacob's aspirations.
Well, it seems like it's ignited a spark in him. He's expressed an interest in science and engineering, and he's talked about wanting to build rockets that help keep other dads safe.
Wow, that's powerful. It's
Mhm.
like he's channeling his grief into a positive force.
All right, a desire to make the world a better and safer place.
Yeah, and it's a reminder that even in the face of tragedy, hope can emerge and dreams can take root.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some key takeaways?
Well, I think this story really highlights the profound impact that a single act of kindness can have. Musk's gesture wasn't about publicity or self-promotion. It was about human connection, about offering solace in a moment of profound need. And that act had ripple effects that extended far beyond that initial moment.
Yeah, and it shows the incredible power of community.
Absolutely.
The way people rallied around Jacob and his family is a testament to the human capacity for empathy, compassion, and collective action.
And I think it also challenges us to reconsider our assumptions about who these tech giants are and what motivates them. Musk's actions in this case reveal a depth of compassion and commitment that we don't often associate with figures of his stature.
Right. It's a good reminder that even the most ambitious, driven individuals are capable of profound empathy and a genuine desire to make a difference.
And it leaves us with a question to ponder. What small act of kindness can we each perform that might have a similar ripple effect? How can we contribute to creating a world where communities embrace those in need, where compassion triumphs over adversity, and where even the most unexpected individuals rise to the occasion to make a lasting impact?